Good morning, welcome back to my channel. I'm Judy. So today I'm making a delicious treat you can have for breakfast or whatever, but I bought a couple, it came as a set of these muffin top, they're muffin top silicone molds, pans that you can put in the oven, and they're, I don't know, they're probably about 2.5, 3 inches, about 3 inches across. They're pretty good size, but it's just to make muffin tops with, so not the whole muffin, which I love. I think it's pretty cool. But I'll try to leave the link to these pans. They're on Amazon and where I got them, but we're going to go ahead and make some blueberry lemon muffin tops. And I thought you might like to see how they work. I've tried them once before, not on camera, but we'll see how it goes. So stay tuned and let's bake some lemon blueberry muffin tops. Okay, so the first thing we're going to mix up is the dry ingredients. So in my bowl here, I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using Kirkland from Costco. It's an organic, all-purpose, unbleached flour. So that's what's in my bowl here. I'm just going to kind of whisk it up. I love Costco. We go to Sam's sometimes too, but Costco has a lot more organic stuff than Sam's. Okay, so there's our 2.5 cups of flour. Now I'm going to add 3/4 cups of, I'm using cane sugar. That's why it has that kind of sparkly brown to it. It has a little bit of molasses in it, but not much. So 3/4 cups of this sugar. Like that. All right. Okay, now we're going to put in baking powder. So 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using pink Himalayan salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So let's put all that in there. Mix that up. Let's whisk it up. These are really, really delicious, especially for breakfast. Great for kids to take to school in their lunches, or your husband to take in his lunch. Of course, now Ed's retired. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to add in some lemon zest. I've been saving. Actually, there's a little bit of lime zest in here too, but so that's not going to matter. You can just do all lemon if you want, but I'm just trying to use up what I have. So some lemon and lime that I had in the refrigerator. Mix all that up. Okay, now we're going to set this aside. And we're going to mix up our wet ingredients. Okay, the wet ingredients is 1 egg, slightly mixed up. And I'm going to scrape that out of there because I want to use it all from my beautiful chicken. So there's 1 egg, and then 1/2 cup. It calls for vegetable oil. I'm going to use coconut oil, but I think, yeah, it's cooled down enough. Well, let's go ahead and add our buttermilk first. I'm going to add 1 cup of buttermilk. Now, this is buttermilk that I made. I bought a, what do you call it, a starter from Azure Standard. And then you take the little starter pack and you add 3 cups of milk, whole milk. And then you have to let it sit for 18 to 20 hours until it sets up. And then you can make, bake with it, do what you want with it. Okay, let's mix this up. So that was 1 cup of buttermilk and 1 slightly beaten large egg. And now we're going to add 1/2 cup. I'm using melted down coconut oil. You could use any kind of oil that you want. I'm going to use coconut. You know it's not curdling. It just kind of separates with its oil. And now we need some vanilla. I use this Azure Market from Azure Standard. It's pure organic vanilla extract. If I can get it open. Ugh. And we're going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Smells so good. Okay, let's mix that up. Boy, that smells good. Okay, now we're going to mix it with our dry ingredients. Let me make sure I got everything I need. Yes, so let's take this out and we're gonna bring over the dry and we're gonna add our wet mix. I'm just gonna pour it in there and scrape this out. Trying to do this so you can, my arm's not in the way. Alright, there we go. Let's put this in the sink. And let's go ahead and mix this up. It's a pretty easy recipe. And it's going to be kind of thick. Not like a pourable muffin mix. Spoon it around. My spatula back here. I'll scrape this off. Alright, let's keep mixing. I don't want to over mix it, but you got to get all the dry mixed in. Okay, now we're going to add in our blueberries. And I have let's see, 1.5 cups of blueberries. And they're partially frozen, but kind of thawing out. So you could use fresh if you have them. And we're just going to mix these in. And yes, it turns your dough, but that's fine. Yeah, maybe if they were too soft, it would mash them. So maybe having them kind of frozen is better. It didn't really say on the recipe that they need to be frozen, but let's mix these up. Okay. Whew, get a workout. It's pretty thick batter, like I said, but you want that because you're just doing muffin tops. Okay. All right, now we're going to get our pan over here and start filling them up. Okay, I put my silicone pan on a little cookie sheet. You can use whatever size cookie sheet you have. I just happen to have these. I think it's Baker's Joy. I can't remember. And then I sprayed it with my Best Choice baking spray or whatever you have. I'm going to spray my spoon a little bit. And we're going to bring this batter back over here. And we're just going to start. And you don't want to overfill these. It's going to be kind of messy because it's thick batter. But I'm going to spread it out as best I can. Okay. You want to try to spread it all the way to the edge of your silicone pan. All right, a little bit more. That should be good. We're not going to put too much in here. So a couple tablespoons. And like I said, it's hard to spread out, but okay, just like that. Let's do another one. Trying to get blueberries in there. And you have to experiment. This is the first recipe that I've tried with this pan, so I'm sure there's more out there. And you just have to, you know, like I said, practice what recipes work best for you. But I've made this once before, and it was delicious. Okay. That should be good. And I'm really not doing like whole heaping teaspoons. I'm just trying to eyeball it here. It's kind of like pizza dough. Let's get some of these blueberries over here on this side. There we go. Okay. I'm going to keep filling these up. And I'm probably going to get a couple batches, couple trays of these. So my oven is preheated to 75 degrees. And we're going to bake them, I think, 12 minutes. Let me see here, make sure I got this right. I'm going to try 12 minutes and then I'll let you know exactly how long it takes because my oven gets pretty hot. Okay, before I put these in the oven, I almost forgot the topping that I mixed up to put on it. And the topping is a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, the same flour I'm using, a 1/4 cup of cane sugar, or whatever sugar you're using, and 2 tablespoons of softened butter, and then you just kind of mix it up until it's crumbly like this. And we're going to top the muffins tops with this. And I almost forgot that, which This is what makes it, you know, extra special. And then we're going to make a glaze, a powdered sugar glaze, to put when they're finished baking on the top. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to do another sheet. So you're going to get 2, 4, 6, 8. You're going to get 16 of these out of this by using this pan. Okay, now they can go in the oven on 375, and I'm going to start them out at 12 minutes, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so while our lemon blueberry muffin tops are baking, well, the second batch, I've got one batch done. We're going to go ahead and make some glaze to put on it. And right here I have 2 cups of just regular powdered sugar. You could use a low powdered sugar like Swerve, Lakanto, but I am out of that right now, so we're just going to use regular. Now, it calls for the juice from 1 lemon, which I don't have any. I'm just going to eyeball it and just kind of till it gets the consistency that I like for drizzling. So this about a couple tablespoons, and we'll see what this does. Might need to add, I'm probably going to need to add more. Oh yeah. Because you want to drizzle this on the top when they're still kind of warm. You just have to kind of play around with this to see what consistency you get. It's still going to be too thick. Yeah, that's way too thick. So, a couple tablespoons. Okay. Right, about a 1/4 cup so far is what I think I've put in there. And now we're just going to mix this up. Sides. Smells delicious. If you like lemon. The bottom. Okay, let's see. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Let's set this aside. Bring our muffins over here. Find my mitt because I don't want to burn myself because it is still pretty hot. But look how beautiful. Aren't those gorgeous? I think they're gorgeous. Okay, let me chop just a little bit more. And I think I'm just going to use my whisk and drizzle it that way. Well, you know what? Let's get the smaller whisk. Well, it's not smaller, but it's shorter handled. A little bit easier to control. Okay, and then we're just going to drizzle this. Yes, you're going to make a mess, but that's fine. Okay. A little bit more. Might be easier to use a fork. Let me try a fork instead. Let me try a fork. You just have to experiment. Okay. Yeah. I guess I could have made it a little thinner. But that's okay. It's still going to taste delicious. And when I said you get, these pans hold 6 each. So altogether you would get 12, not 16. I don't know why I said that. Oh well. But I was lacking 1 space because it only made 5 on the other pan. But that's okay. It's still a lot. These are going to be so delicious. And I will try to leave the link, or at least the name of the store that I got them from, this pan from, on Amazon. And then once they're cool enough, I will take them out of this pan and just let them cool on a cookie rack. But I want to make sure that they're cool enough that they don't bust apart. Okay. Ooh, we're going to do a taste test once they're all done. But okay, there's 1 muffin top, blueberry muffin top. Done. So I'll bring you back when the next one is done. We'll put glaze on it. Okay, so here's the second batch, and they all baked at, I started out at 12 minutes, but they ended up taking a total of 18 minutes altogether. And we didn't get 12 like I thought we would get, but that's fine. It's still a lot. And I added just a little bit of water to this glaze because it was a little too thick. So I wanted to, this is perfect. But these are going to be great for breakfast or for whatever. You want a cup of coffee or a cup of tea? Jax is standing down here by me. Oh, Jaxie, you can't have these, buddy. He's thinking, okay, why aren't you making dog biscuits? Because you still have some left to eat. Okay. Okay, now we're going to let these cool. And I'm going to bring some over from that first batch that are pretty well cool. And we're going to do a little taste test. Okay, this is one from the first batch. But this, once it's cooled, you can actually pick it up and eat it by your hand. So it's great for lunches. But see, that's, as long as you don't overfill each cavity of the mold, they won't get, you know, mound up too high. They'll stay flat. And it's just, you know, I didn't measure. I just did spoonfuls. But you could, you know, if you want to be really technical, you can measure. But see, that's how. And it's beautiful. Okay, let's take a bite. Look how tender. Oh my goodness. So good. Okay. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Look how tender that is. And it's done. It's done in the center. Like I said, 18 minutes at 375. You can try other flavors. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, that is so good. So I hope you enjoyed the recipe. I will leave it in my description box below. And the link or the store name to the silicone molds that I got off of Amazon. They wash up nicely. And they're flexible. As long as you have to put them on a cookie sheet though, like I did. And I love them. I'm glad I got them. They weren't very expensive either for a set of 2. And but I thank you for watching my video. Give it a thumbs up and a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, because there's more recipes coming up. I just got a new kitchen toy. Well, it's not a toy, but I love kitchen stuff. And it's a grinder. Grinder/juicer. And I'm really excited because I have some pork fat that I want to grind up. So I'm going to do a video on that. So stay tuned. Everyone have a great weekend. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye.